إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهدي الله فهو المهتدي ومن يضلل فلا هادي له أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار ثم أما بعد. Inshallah, tonight, as we spoke last time about the day of resurrection, and we said how people are standing on that land that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had changed. يوم تبدل الأرض غير الأرض والسماوات وبرزوا لله الواحد القهار. That when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on that day changes the land to a different land, and He changes the heavens to different heavens, and the skies are different. And this land, we said, it's flat, and you don't find anything on it, no single signal on it to indicate who was here, and what was there, and which spot was down. Nothing. Flat land that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala changed this dunya to bring the people to the land of resurrection, and to the day of resurrection, Yawm al-Hashr. And we said that there are people there, their situation and their conditions are different, and they vary based on what they used to do in this dunya. And we gave one of the examples of those concerning the sweat, that some people the sweat is to their feet, and some people to the middle of their bodies, and some people to their necks, and some are drowning in their own sweat when the sun is as far as a mile away. So situations vary. And on the other hand, there are people who are not suffering from any of that, and they don't have to deal with any of that. They don't have to deal with the heat of the sun, and they don't have to deal with the sweat, because all these things are punishment for things that people have done in this dunya. And what you do in this dunya, you collect. And this is a promise from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَأَن لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. And everything you do in this dunya, you're going to catch, and it's going to catch up with you. Sometimes it's here, sometimes it's there, and sometimes here and there. So be aware of what you do. And truthful is the statement, what goes around comes around. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes that clear in His book. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam makes it clear in his sunnah, that the way you treat people and the way you do whatever you do to people, it will turn around to be done to you or unto you. So be aware of that. كما تدين تدان كما تزرع تحصد والجزاء من جنس العمل. So all these things you need to be aware of. He who refuses to do something here that Allah had commanded him for, he will have to pay the price there, and he will have to pay the cost there. And he who avoids the orders of Allah because he wants to enjoy the pleasures of this dunya and this life that are so temporary, it will be taken away from him there. And he should be aware of that. So do not give up something permanent and something eternal in the hereafter for something so temporary in this dunya. Any enjoyment in this dunya, the maximum enjoyment in this dunya might not last more than seconds. And we know what the greatest, we know what the greatest enjoyment in this dunya, the greatest enjoyment, as the ulama and the scholars and human beings have agreed on, most probably is intercourse. And that sexual desire that Allah had instilled in our hearts, and instilled in our fitrah, and in our instinct, and it lasts for a few seconds, and after that, as if nothing happened. So some people are willing to give up that pleasure in the eternity, and that different kind of pleasure, and give up maybe paradise, and give up al-Jannah, and give up the eternal happiness for a few seconds. Or getting drunk. He wants to enjoy it by getting drunk, or getting high, and after that he's depressed, and after that he's vomiting, and after that he might fall into a coma. And how many people died because they were overdosed? And because they thought they wanted to get more drugs and get higher and higher, they got so high that they dropped down on their necks and broke it. And we hear every day now and then of actresses and actors. They just want to get high. Why these people want to get high? Isn't it the person who tries to get high because he wants to be happy? He wants to feel light. He wants all the burdens to run away and move away, thinking that it's magic. But why those people? They got the money. They got the fame. They got the reputation. They walk in the streets and everyone pointing to them, and everyone praising them, and everyone wants to take pictures with them, and everyone wants to salute them and wants to talk to them. Their pictures are everywhere, in every magazine, every newspaper, on a billboard, on TV, and everywhere they go. Yet, they're still looking for happiness. They're still looking for happiness. Why? Because all that, for us, that we might imagine, or for the normal human being, thinking that these are the keys for success. And these are the keys for happiness. Fame, wealth, money, well-known, getting whatever I want. These people, whatever they want, they can get from this dunya. Anyone, any normal person will think, well, these are the keys of happiness. But they misunderstand that there is another factor in the human life. And there's another factor that also needs to be nourished. And as we all know in Islam, that your body is made out of dirt. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us from dirt. That body that you have, that physical body, is made out of dirt, wants always to go back to its origin. Wants always to go back to the dirt. And always wants to take you to the dirt. And this dunya and all these illusions that you see and all these pleasures you see, thinking they are the keys of happiness, they are made out of dirt. So the body wants to take you there through those things. And the other part of your body is the ruh and your soul. And this comes from top. And this comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is higher. And this part of your body wants to take you up. And wants to elevate. And wants to go toward the arsh, toward the throne of Ar-Rahman. So you have this kind of conflict. The ruh wants to go up, and the body wants to go down. The ruh wants to take you higher toward Allah, and the body wants to take you to the core of this earth, to the origin, and that is dirt. So there is a conflict. Always there is a conflict. So it's up to you. Whatever you nourish more, that is what's going to win. Whatever you feed more, whatever you nourish more, whatever you feed more, whatever you take care of more, that is what will grow stronger. And that is what will grow tougher. And that's what will dominate and prevail. So you choose. So feeding yourself from the pleasures of this dunya, more and more and more, and you're not getting enough, and you will never get enough. Because you're not expected that. You will never get enough, as the Prophet ﷺ said, and we said yesterday in the other masjid, that if the son of Adam has 2 valleys of gold, or 2 mountains of gold, will wish to have a third. Will wish to have. He who has a mountain, half a mountain, quarter of a mountain of gold, that's it. He doesn't need anything. He can't get anything in this world. By sitting, crossing his legs in a chair, or in his bed laying down, he doesn't need. But yet that is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created him. So if he doesn't get himself satisfied in the right manner, he will never be content. So the Prophet ﷺ teaches us, he has 2 mountains of gold, he wants the third. He gets the first million, and he always said, once I hit my first million, I'm going to stop. And I'm going to dedicate my life for Allah. He doesn't pray. He doesn't fast. He doesn't take care of his kids. He doesn't raise his kids the right way. He doesn't take care of his wife. He doesn't take care of his house. He doesn't fulfill his obligations toward Allah. Why? Because he always said, when I hit my first million, when I hit that jackpot, or whatever, and once he hit that million, what is his next concern? Is he going to fulfill his promises? Is he going to start praying? Is he going to start raising? No. Now he's worried. But if I stop now, that million going to go back to 900,000, and then to 800,000, and this and that. So let me make another million just in case. And the cycle keeps going on.